first you're starting out when you have no idea what the risk actually is. Ooh, I've had enough of those. If you had just cut the losers on target, on plan, it would have made the biggest difference. The way that you win at this game is not by how big the winners are. Losses compound against you faster than winners help you grow. This is complete fact. Afternoon, traders. As the intro says, more time living and less time trading. And that's what we're all about here at 10 Minute Stock Trader. And I'd like to say, long time no see. Hope you're having a fantastic Thursday. Nothing's going on in the market right now. Because nothing's going on in the market right now, kind of had that conversation with myself, had that conversation with Donna, had that conversation with Victor. And it's like, I don't have to sit here every single day, manning the computer, right? Of course, I want you to be getting the most value possible, number one. But number two, when nothing's going on, that's kind of the whole point of 10-minute trading, is not to do anything. So, thanks for letting me have a couple days off. I need to give you guys some updates here real quick. Tomorrow's going to be a transition Friday. There's no doubt about it. The math is just going to work out like that, so we're not going to meet tomorrow. Monday, I have jury duty, or at least I have the notification to show up. Hopefully, I get dismissed. And then I don't have to do any jury duty, and then we can get right back at it. And then later this month, September 18th, 19th, 20th, I'm actually going to a conference and then speaking at that conference. So looking forward to the opportunity for that. I've been working on the slides for it this morning, and I just sent the slides off to get approved earlier today. So yeah, a lot going on soon. But the number one thing is, of course, taking care of you in the 10-minute trading room. And right now, the way that we can take care of you is to make sure that you're not forcing any trades. Make sure that you're not putting on anything that doesn't need to be put on. Make sure that you're not going deep in a market that's not ready to be bought up or not ready to be sold. So let's jump right into our market analysis, and we will discuss what we're seeing out there. Welcome to the 10-minute trading room. This is how to trade only 10 minutes a day and exactly how to take the guesswork out of trading. Now, with our outlier trading strategy, it always starts with the market. We let the market tell us which direction it's going. And it doesn't even know. The market doesn't even know which direction it's going. So, if we were going to be bearish, we need to see the 10 over the 20, or I'm sorry, under the 20 with price under the 50. So let's go to the SPY. And what we see here, make it bigger. There we go. We see the 10, which is a blue line, is over the 20. Price is now over the 50. It was down below it earlier today. So this is a terrible, terrible, terrible setup for any direction, right? Look, it's under the 10, but it's over the 50. This is no man's land. This is don't touch anything land. This is why in the world are you even looking at buying anything? Why in the world do you even have your platform pulled up? Get out of your broker platform. Get off the charts. Don't do anything right now. Stop! Until the market decides which way it's going to go. Now, if it goes back up, then we're already in a bullish posture here. If it goes down, we'll very soon have crossovers and be pushing down. Now, the purple and green bars on there, or blocks, are called the order blocks. And what we have found is that when price reaches this area, it can tend to bounce. So we're kind of in between a couple bouncing zones right here, right? Right there and right there. And, I mean, this is the coolest thing ever, right? This goes back to March of 2022. Look at this. At no point in time do we have any issues. And as soon as it hits this order block, boom, back down. So I wouldn't be surprised at all to see price bounce between 457 and 441 on the SPY, at least until these orders get filled and we see a real direction. Now, let's move into the other half of how we look at the market, and that is with the MMFI. MMFI is the percent of stocks above their own 50-day moving average. So the percent of stocks above their own red lines, right? If it's above a moving average, it's bullish. If it's below a moving average, it's bearish. We can see here the same setup with the 10, 20, 50, right? But this is below all of them. Whereas the SPY was above the 50, but below the 10 and 20. The MMFI, the trend on MMFI is all pointing down. So that is the biggest reason why we haven't been in the market for the last few weeks, honestly, a couple weeks at this point, right? is because the market breadth, the amount of stocks that are bullish in the market, does not coincide with the market being bullish. So we were out and avoided this whipsaw movement. That's how you have to trade. You have to do that. So we're not going to be putting on any trades today. We're not even going to go to the next step. We're going to stop right here at the market trend because the market has told us it doesn't even know where it's going. It doesn't know where it's going. And because it doesn't know where it's going, we're not going to force anything. We're going to let the market tell us which direction to go. And right now, that is take your stuff and go on home. Nothing to trade. So let's go to our final thoughts. All right, so this is from someone else's account, Def Frog Swing Trader. I don't know, but it's reposting a video with Mark. I have not watched this, so I wanted to watch this live and react to it live with you. I've got it at 1.25 speed because I want to be respectful of your time, and I don't think that the audio is going to come through. Let me double check the settings here. General camera audio. Yeah, I don't think that I don't see a setting for that. Okay. Pretty sure that the audio is not going to come through. So we're going to just talk through it. He says there's some stages that everyone goes through when they're learning about risk management. In fact, I'm going to move this up to 1.5 speed. Now, Mark, I actually know Mark. I have Mark in my phone. It's been a couple weeks, couple months since we've texted. But yeah, Mark is a great guy. I've had the opportunity to learn a lot from Mark directly. So pretty cool to hear Mark, one of my mentors on here. So he's talking about the stages of risk. And he says, first, you're starting out when you have no idea what the risk actually is. And then, of course, you learn the hard way that there is risk there. So he's talking about how he would cut his losses, and then he would have that just this one time moment. Ooh, I've had enough of those. I can't tell you how many times I've thought, you know what? I'm just gonna let this go a couple days longer. I'm gonna give this another $1 to run. The whole idea of the market could come back around. It's the coulds. It's the should'ves, it's the would'ves. That's why, in my opinion, selling options, that is an insidious, horrible way to trade. Because that entire time, you're riding on that edge of, hey, it could turn back around. I've got time to make it work, rather than cutting your losses. So he's talking about different reasons you could justify it, being that the stock is good, that it has to bounce back, you know, the story is good, etc. And he's saying, in just this one time, I'll hold, and it will turn into a disaster. I can't tell you how many times that happened to me. In fact, there was a time where Mark and I were working together, and I distinctly remember him saying, Chris, this is why your trades suck. And I was like, oh. Ouch, Mark. Can't you sugarcoat that just a little bit? This is why your trades suck. Okay. All right. So what he's saying is that if he had just cut the losers on target, on plan, it would have made the biggest difference. So that takes you up to the next level, which is religiously cutting those losses and taking the risk off the table. And he's talking about his final level, which I'm actually curious to hear, which happened to him in 1990. So he's saying that more trades were going on and they were working against him, and he was still cutting his losses. And so what he's saying is, if he's going to lose, they're going to have to nick him to death with 1,000 cuts. Now, I recently had a video talking about that, and it's not about how big your winners are. It's really not. The way that you win at this game is not by how big the winners are. Right? The winners can actually be really small. They can be 3%, 5%, 10%, whatever. You don't need monster rocket ship wins. What you need are teensy-weensy losses. Because think about it, right? Losses compound against you faster than winners help you grow. This is complete fact. if you have a 50% loss, for example, if you have a 50% loss in your portfolio, you have to double your portfolio to get back to even. That's hard to double your portfolio. But it's really easy to take a 1% loss instead of a 50% loss. He says he's not going to get beat from a big loss. It's going to have to be tons and tons and tons of little losses. He says it's 30-something years later, the rest is history, and he's never had a drawdown since. Or a big drawdown since. And that's the mindset you have to go into in this game is, you know what? I'm here. When the market makes itself available, I'll show up. I'm not going to get in there ahead of time. In fact, I should bring this up. One of Mark's sayings here, same guy. Wait and cash for proper setups. How long? Oh, I don't know. How about as long as it takes, right? How about as long as it takes? And then cut your losses, cut your losses, cut your losses. So really good to hear from the man himself, one of the greatest traders ever. And we've had the opportunity to speak with Mark many times, and I've had the opportunity to work with Mark directly, and very, very grateful for him. So thank you so much for coming to today's 10-minute trading room. Like I say, tomorrow is absolutely going to be a transition day. The market is not going anywhere right now, so don't worry about trading. Monday, I have jury duty if I don't get dismissed. Otherwise, I'll let you know in the Discord, and thank you so much for coming. Have a fantastic weekend, and we'll talk soon.